Hey guys, it's Katie here with Life the Mundane and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to share with you one of the secrets to our homeschool success, and that is quiet time. I'm going to share with you guys what is quiet time, why do we do it, and a few tips that you can use if you want to start something similar in your homeschool. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Katie and welcome to Life the Mundane. I am a second generation homeschool mom of 6 beautiful kiddos. And on this channel, we talk all things resources. I love to share with you resources that are going to help you in your homeschooling and help encourage you in your biblical parenting and how you can utilize those to their fullest potential so that you can make the most of the little moments. So let's start with, what is quiet time? Well, quiet time is simply a period of time where your kids and the whole house as a rule is quiet. So for our family, what this looks like is we do 1 hour of quiet time. We do it after our school hours are over, and it usually falls between 2 and 3 or between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The rules are quite simple. No talking to one another. Everyone must be in their own beds, which means that even though they share a room, they kind of have their own designated spot. We don't do audiobooks during this time, except for an exception that's made for the littlest ones who are 3 and 4. They're still learning how to keep themselves occupied during quiet time, so we do allow audiobooks for them. During this time, they can sleep if they would like, they can read a book, they can play with toys, as long as it's in their own bed and as long as they are staying quiet. This is not really a time to interact with each other. There's lots of opportunities in our day for them to have a lot of togetherness time because we homeschool. And so this is time to just kind of be alone. Some of my kids like to journal or do art. Others just like to look at books, even if they're not reading them. This may look a little different in each family. I've seen people who do this where where the kids don't go to their rooms, but they maybe just sit on the couch and everybody just reads for an hour. You decide what works for you and your family, but this is what it looks like in our home. So why would anybody want to do something like this? Well, the truth is we all need some downtime. Just as human beings, we need rest and we need that margin in our life where things are not always just go, 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 go. But especially it's important for those of us who homeschool. As moms, we are on 24/7 and hardly get a moment to rest. But that's also true for our kids. There's a lot of togetherness time, which means a lot of bonding and closeness, which are all huge benefits of homeschooling, but it can also cause conflict or sensory overwhelm for our kids as they're always together. So giving them some designated time that is just theirs can really help to de-escalate situations when maybe there's been a lot of fighting or bickering, when there's been a lot of opportunity for frustration. It's a good way to just take a minute and calm down. It also has helped us transition from our school time to our afternoon time. Our school time is very structured. We have this and then that and then that and then that. And so it can be a lot of hustle and bustle and go, go, go. And our afternoons are more unstructured where the kids can just follow their creativity. They can enjoy learning about different interests. They can go outside and play and those kinds of things. Well, I found that when I didn't have a clear segue of like our school day is done and now it's time for play, it would just they would bleed into each other. Our school day could extend longer or their playtime would start extra early and we wouldn't get the schoolwork done that we wanted. So for us, having this quiet time is our segment between the two. This is when my kids know as soon as we have quiet time, that means school is over. And that means it is on to when we wake up, going into our play or other fun things that they want to do for the day. It's also helped cut down on that 5 p.m. witching hour. If you know what I mean, many kids get really whiny and fussy, or again, a lot of bickering goes on during that time when you are usually trying to get ready for dinner. Maybe your spouse is coming home from work and things can just get really crazy. I found by taking this later afternoon 1 hour quiet time, it really helps everybody to reset, refocus, and come out refreshed. Another reason why I do it is not just for my kids, but for myself. Now this, you might think, is just so I have a break from them. And there are days when I do need that. But what I mean by that is it allows all of us to be able to rest and refresh. So what this does is while I do spend a couple of our quiet times a week doing things like filming, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, or taking time to maybe get an extra load of laundry done or something, I do make sure I designate at least 2 to 3 of those quiet time hours a week to just sit down. I can read a book, I can maybe work out, I can just rest, but just having those moments to be able to refresh makes me a better mom and makes me more willing and excited to see them come out those doors. So How do you get started with something like this? Well, again, it's all about making it work for you and your family. Maybe an hour is too long. Maybe you need longer than an hour. You can decide what works best for you and your family. But if you've never done anything like this before, I highly recommend starting small and growing a little bit larger, maybe starting with 15, 30 minutes and then working your way up. 1 hour is just perfect for us, but I know some that have done it for much longer, especially if your kids are younger and they're actually napping during that time period. Sometimes you need a longer time. Probably the biggest tip I can give you when it comes to developing a quiet time for your home is knowing your why. Understanding why do you want this in the first place? Is it because your kids genuinely need a nap? If that's the case, then you're going to want to make sure that you make rules like no toys in their bed, because if they have toys in their bed, they're not going to be napping. Or maybe you want to make sure that everybody isn't listening to music or doing an audiobook because that's going to be too loud and wake up other kids. If your why is because you want them to learn how to play on their own and you want them to kind of have that really truly one-on-one individual alone time, then you may want to separate your kids into separate rooms. So maybe even if they share a bedroom, you want to put them in different rooms of your house. So just understanding your why will help you to develop the rules that work best for you. Just because it's the way we do it does not mean that's the way you have to do it. And understand that it has developed and changed over the years. For a long time, my kids would spend this time listening to audiobooks. The reason why we took away being able to listen to those audiobooks is not because audiobooks are not great. They are fantastic, and my kids do listen to them a lot at other opportunities. But I started to have more readers, and they wanted the opportunity to read, but because they shared a room with another sibling, then they weren't able to do that. So we just thought, we're going to protect this 1 hour, and any other time audiobooks are allowed. So again, it was all about finding our why and working out what works best for our family. Another tip is understanding that if you do have little ones, separating bedrooms may be really, really, really helpful. So for instance, for my 3 and 4-year-old, at times I will have them be together, but about every 3 or 4 days or so, my 3-year-old actually really needs to sleep, and she won't if she's in the same room with her 4-year-old sister. So I will send my 3-year-old to my bed, and she'll usually conk out and crash, and my 4-year-old will just play quietly. Another tip is that you want to set timers. We set timers on our Alexa devices that allow the kids to know when it's time to wake up so they don't keep coming out or have an excuse to come out and ask, how long until quiet time's over? They can ask her if they want, and she will tell them exactly what time they have or how much time they have left on their timer. But for little ones, you may want to use something like a visual timer. That can also help them to see how much time is left before they can get up. The big thing is be patient with your kids. Be willing to work with them, to train them, to come alongside them. Don't make it a time where everybody dreads, because that's the moment when mom's yelling, get back in your room. But instead, take the opportunity to listen to their concerns, especially if your kids are older. For instance, that's kind of how the audiobook thing came about, is I had kids coming to me and saying, I would love to spend my time reading, but I can't. So we adapted and we changed. Maybe it would work best for you and your kids to have a special toy. I've seen parents who have like a bucket of toys that's just their quiet time toys, and they'll bring those out and they'll put them in there, and then as soon as quiet time's up, they'll pick it up and they'll put it away, and that way there's something special and intriguing to their kids to play with during that time. My hope in this video is that it would encourage you to maybe try this out in your home. This is truly something that I recommend whether you've got toddlers or teens. We all can use a little break and a little reset from the day. And I will almost guarantee you that it will change attitudes in your home, because really having that break apart from each other, the absence does make the heart grow fonder. If you guys would like to learn more about what our morning routine looks like for school, how does that kind of structured time look, you can check out this video up here, or you can also check out the video here to learn more about the visual timer that we like to use and other ways that we utilize it in our homeschool. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.